Okay, my name's Zakashi, guys, and in this video here we're going to be doing a should you summon, but it's not really a should you summon, it's more like a can you afford, because we're coming right out the 5th anniversary and they've decided to drop this cell with mediocre animations, but
oh brother, this guy stinks!
He might be worth it for you considering what you're wanting. So yeah, there's also a Gohan, but we don't have much on the Gohan yet, so we're just gonna base it off the main banner unit, which is obviously the Legends Limited, and you shouldn't really be going in on a banner just for the side unit. The side units usually appear very soon after anyways, on like literally any banner. So yeah, hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this video. Let me know how many Chrono crystals you got. It should be a low amount pretty much though. I'm on 16k, just because obviously what's understood don't need to be explained. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 75,000 subscribers, man. If you're new here, you know what to do here. Make sure to press that red button, man. But I'm not gonna hold you guys up any longer. Let's actually get into the video now. Okay, so we're gonna get into some pre-information about summoning before we actually get into the actual core of the video, which is whether the cell's gonna be worth it for you and whether the banner is overall gonna be worth it for you. We don't have all the banner information, but of course we do have cell's kit, so that's gonna be the main focus for this video. But these are some things that you should consider before you actually go into the banner, especially for the likes of most of you guys that would be free to play and you definitely don't make content. So the first thing I want to mention is that you should watch showcases. Watching showcases is so important simply because you'd be able to actually see how they would perform. In most cases, content creators are a higher level in PvP, so you'd be able to actually see how they perform on a good team against most units in the meta. So if they're not looking good, why would you summon on them if you're summoning mainly to actually have them as an addition to your team? If you're a collector, then this whole video is useless, so you shouldn't even be worrying about that. So definitely number one, watch your showcases. Another thing you could do is wait until the last day. Now this obviously is optimal because you'd actually see the peak of how they can perform in PvP before you actually summon, just overall in the whole playing field and on showcases. But what I will say is you might miss out on events, because events do be a lot easier when you have the new unit. So that's another big factor. And the main one I want to consider is the near future. Literally, we have the festival next. So now that the anniversary is over, we're heading into the festival right at the end of the year. It should start around November. In November the festival will start, and that will basically be when the next big units will be building up, because in the same way we got 3 parts in the anniversary, we'll probably get 3 parts of the festival, and I'll follow the exact same regime, formula, everything. So 2 units, side units as well might be a lot. There might even be 2 banners in one section. I don't know, however they want to do it. And then they will definitely just drop an ultra at the end to be the biggest high point of it all. So definitely that as well. And of course, you should look at the start date, the end date, so you know how long you have. That goes along with the last day summoning thing. And I want to also point out that how many Chrono crystals you have is very important. This is a Legends Limit banner, so there is pity, yeah, but you have to spend quite a bit to get to that pity anyways. So you got to think about the tickets when you're summoning as well. How many tickets are you going to get? So if you don't have a lot, you're not going to get far into the banner anyways. So there's no point of summoning in certain cases. But of course, you can always try your luck. But then at that point, it's not even, you're considering anything. You're just trying your luck to see what you can get. So yeah, that's pretty much all the beginner advice I've got before we actually get into the core of this video, knowing if Cell's going to be that unit for you, because obviously he's not going to be that unit for everybody. So yeah, let's actually get into the core of this video now. Okay, so I've gone through Cell's kit, so you don't have to, because I know you Dragon Ball fans don't like to read, and I didn't want to read all of this as well, but I read it. So what I've gauged is that this guy's a range type, and he's gonna work with a lot of like regeneration android characters considering his tags. So the first thing you do is pretty much go to his Z ability, but of course the leader slot exists, so you don't need to consider this too heavy. He doesn't have anything in his kit that really stops him from being on any team, but his Z ability is quite important. So he's going to work on regeneration android or any powerful opponent team, but he's range type, so bear that in mind with any team you build. But from that, I can see that he's going to work very well on androids, and he could have some potential on regeneration. Powerful opponent, I think, is more strike based. So yeah, I'm going to leave out powerful opponent. I'm going to say if you're a regen android type guy, this guy's going to be for you. Now, it looks like he LFs through his blue card, and his blue card's a little annoying, you know. So his blue card actually can feint people, literally more higher chance to feint people if there's actually less people alive on your team. So 30% if that's the case, and then 20, 10. It's 10% more every time you lose a member anyways. Cool. Another thing that I want to point out as a big thing is that his gauge, he has a gauge, right? Every unit has a gauge nowadays. Every unit has a gauge. So his gauge, how it works, is actually based on just time passing. So if he's on the battlefield, his gauge will just gradually start filling up, right? And it will just keep filling up. Similar to how Hit's gauge fills up. I don't think this one fills while he's off the battlefield though. So it's filling while he's on the battlefield, right? And it actually explains it here. Charges on unique gauge while the character's on the battlefield there. It charges while he's on the battlefield, right? And then when it fills, you actually get some buffs. So you'd be randomly draw 3 cards if you have 3 or fewer cards. You get health, you get key, your gauge comes back, you get damage inflicted, 20% to damage inflicted, draw speed, a lot of buffs here, and you can't be cover changed as well. And he cancels attribute downgrades under normal conditions. So because it doesn't fill on the sidelines, you can actually time it for when you want to fill it as well, which is very, very good. But it's naturally filling. And there's a lot of things you can do to actually fill it. So at the start, it fills at like 85%, which is actually pretty dope. It starts like that. If you go to Unique Ability 1, where did I read it? Yeah, at the battle start, charges gauge by 85%. But you can also fill it by actually taking out, by having a battle member on your team defeated. So yeah, when one person in your team dies, his gauge fills up 20%. So that's pretty dope as well. It's not just like you just have to wait. So it's gonna be, I think it's gonna fill pretty much a lot, I'm not gonna lie, which is dope. You can also fill it through the green card. I should have also mentioned that the blue card's like a close range one, since it says blast armor when charging forward. The green one here, the green card, you can combo everything into it. I think it's like a beam. That's my assumption though. I can't really tell from the description here, but you can combo pretty much anything into it, which is dope. So it's probably going to be either a counter, it's going to be a grab type, or a beam. Probably a beam though, considering that you can chain literally everything into it, which is not that, it's not bad, it's not good, but everything is like catering to his blast attack. So you can see here 20% blast damage inflicted, blast damage against blast armor and whatnot, and the Z ability is double offenses, but blast is what's coming up predominantly more than anything else. So yeah, range type more than anything else, his gauge is going to consistently fill. The last thing I forgot to mention is the fact that he has like a death type thing like Tapion or the Cell Max Magenta. When he actually dies, he deals like this massive damage thing. I don't know, it does half of the enemy's health. It doesn't seem that great to me. It never does, it never has, unless you're actually just doing damage against the type disadvantage. See, this guy's purple, by the way. That's probably a big factor I should have mentioned. This guy's purple. So yeah, I guess that's pretty much it. But when he does actually get defeated, there's a lot of things that come out of it. So no switching, it's only 5 timer counts, so don't get too excited about it. He does destroy all the enemy's card as well, and he does AoE damage to the guys on the sideline. That's pretty much the bulk of it, if I'm explaining it in simple terms. But of course there's like simple intricacies, but I'm giving you guys the information for whether you should summon on the character or not like every single detail. This is not trying to be a full kit breakdown, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah, final counter hits, destroys all enemies cards, no switching. It's even 3 timer counts, but it steals the Rise and Rush for 5 timer counts. Yeah, there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it like that for the description of his kit. But yeah, it's not bad at all. It's actually pretty decent. It's very solid actually. It just depends on what team you're running, and right now, is he gonna be able to revive all those teams like against UGB and Rose? UGB Rose, I said UGB Rose first. What's wrong with me? I'm in the past. Gold Freezer and UVB. Yeah, that's difficult. So cool. What you want to know is whether I think this guy is worth summoning for, and honestly, I think he's not. For multiple reasons. The main reason, unless you're paid to win, then you wouldn't be watching this video anyways, is that you don't have enough CCs. People won't have enough CCs to go deep on this banner. We're just out the anniversary. People are scraping all they can for UVB. So really and truly, trying to go into this banner directly after, and most likely if you're summoning for UVB, you don't run the teams that this guy's gonna work on. It just doesn't make sense, man. You're not gonna get him high stars for him to have a lot of an impact. And even if you did get him, you could Z-power him, of course, but again, you're free to play, so it's gonna take a while. Another big factor is that this guy's teams are not especially dominant. I guess you can make him dominant if you skipped, of course. So again, if you're running like androids or regeneration, then cool, this guy will be good for you. But outside of that, it's like, what is it, you know? It's not going to really be the biggest factor. And most teams in the game are melee type. So this guy being a range type from the seams of it as well, and the way his kit works, it's just going to throw you off completely, and it's not going to be the biggest attribute to any of your teams. He's purple on top of that, and there's already 2 dominant purples in the game. those two being Go Freeze and UGB. This guy might be better than UGB, but again, the teams factor, is he going to be more dominant in the meta? Very unlikely in my opinion, so we're going to need a bit more to actually see off that. But for the most part, unless you're running androids or regeneration and you run them strictly, this unit is not going to benefit you the way you might think it will. He's not bad by any means off reading his kit. Of course, stats are going to play a factor, and Gohan's on this banner, but completely different teams as well anyways. But really and truly, unless you run those two teams, like I said, he's not going to be worth it for you, honestly. It's a very good idea to skip, save towards the festival. There could be something big that drops like last year. We got, I think it was Super Saiyan Trunks or something that dropped after the anniversary. Then we got Cooler, who was insane, right? Then they dropped Beast Gohan, who was insane. This guy doesn't scream insane to me. He also looks mediocre, which doesn't help. So overall, my answer is no to summoning, but again, there are exceptions, such as those guys who basically have CCs, so they're using this character for specific teams with regeneration or androids. So I'm not straight up saying no, but it's very, very conditional. It's not a straight up yes like UVB, and I want to very much emphasize that for anybody that's considering actually summoning on this unit. But yeah, man, that's pretty much going to be the end of the video. There's nothing more to pretty much say. I tried to give you the best advice that I could for this banner. Again, let me know how many Chrono crystals you got. I'm saving though. I'm saving. If you're wondering why, if I'm summoning, I'm saving. I'm not waking up at 6 AM or 7 AM, even 6 AM. I have to wake up 6 AM to make thumbnail and whatnot for this cell, bruv. I'm just not. I'm sleeping through it, and I'm gonna wake up normal time and just see everybody say, oh, this guy's alright, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Even if he's top 1 in the game, I wouldn't use him. So it is what it is. If you watch my streams, I don't be using Go Freezer just because Freezer's on that unit. It's not me, man. Hey, if it's not me, it's not me. Hopefully you guys did enjoy this video though. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 75,000 subscribers. Appreciate you guys for watching the video. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one, man.